everybody, welcome to another MUSE TV episode, talking bite-size Halloween. We got another great short film called Skincare. And let's just put it this way, when you see it, you'll know why it's called Skincare. We have Jess Coulter, we have Kristin Slaysman. What was it about this story that you wanted to tell it? Because it was a really good, interesting, deep dive into a nice little mask.
Hey, thank you. The idea for Skincare actually came unsurprisingly in my bathroom while I was using my LED face mask. So the premise of this story begins with Kristin here, who plays Bella. She's the lead character in the story, in the bathroom wearing one of those LED face masks. So just to be clear, those face masks are things that you kind of put over your face, and the LED lights help prevent wrinkles and are just supposed to make you prettier, and weirdly also kind of make you look like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. So I've made this connection before. Other people have surely made this connection because you just see yourself in the mirror and you look like a horror character. Mm-hmm. So that's where the idea came about. But of course, when you start thinking about aging and beauty, I feel like there is an inherent fear with aging. And as I'm continuing to find my voice and narrative, I do kind of find myself going to this kind of horror thriller comedy intersection. And there's just also something funny about how scary aging can be, and something so ridiculous about the things we do to help to try and prevent these things. And so more than just trying to make this like Jason Voorhees, but make it fashion, I really started to think about, how far will we go when it comes to preventing aging, and, at what cost do we do these things for just kind of one more desirable year? And sometimes I think we can take it a little too far, and that's what this film is all about.
And this is the funny thing about it. We had talked off screen about this, but I've seen those masks in stores. I've seen them for guys for their hair, and I'm like, why hasn't anybody made a horror film about this? And now here it is, because it's almost like it was produced and masked and sold to one day eventually be a horror film.
No, it's like this entire industry was just teeing me up to make this. And it's a very, very long walk for a short film for Hulu, but I'm so glad it happened, and I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. And Kristin, what was it like to act in this film and really be the person behind the mask?
Oh, it was so fun. I mean, first of all, we all got to exercise some of our fears and thoughts about aging. And we had so much fun playing with that character in the beginning of the film, and the lengths that she's totally normalized, that she goes towards that end, youth and beauty, So that part was really fun. And then it's just such a fun physical challenge to go from there to bashing your head, against the fireplace hearth. So it was like, in 4 minutes, how can we devolve entirely?
And this is what I love. It was well written, well directed, well shot. And I love the comedy aspects in it, especially with the neighbor. The trash, just that one look, just like, what the hell is going on? It's like that little moment, it's like a levity break, and it's kind of like walking through a haunted house. You get scared, immediately afterwards you laugh, and then you're ready to move on. And I love that take on it.
Yeah, that's Thomas Fowler, who's an incredible actor. And I think it shows in the fact, I knew that moment required just a look, and that man can do it in a look.
Yeah, and it says so much in that look, and then also the physical aspect of it. I could almost see being claustrophobic with that thing on your face, trying to get it off.
Someone who actually uses this thing every day for 4 minutes, it's a lot. There's a lot of light in your face. It does feel claustrophobic. I mean, I think what's so interesting about what's so cool about the series of shorts, the fact I feel like there's a lot of inclusivity with 20th Century and Hulu and this project in bite-sized shorts, that you get to see things that you don't normally see in the horror genre. Like, I don't know, like I kind of feel like the weird like gender monster gap closing a little bit, which is something I think about a lot, that, you know, you don't see a lot of female monsters in movies. And I have a theory that it's because women are the scariest thing possible, and there is not a rating system strong enough for true female monsters. But the thing that Kristin did so well is that she kind of alluded to this moment where she's trying to sort of use all of her physical strength to get the mask off. And I've had friends send me videos of like their partners watching that moment, and people are like crawling out of their skin in that moment. I think it's disturbing, like beautifully disturbing, but the fact that it's a woman doing it, I think it really pushes people's comfort level in the very best way. And I really give a lot of credit to Kristin in that moment, because she really nails it and makes it cringy in the best way.
And you sell it so well, Kristin. I mean, you sell it, especially, we can't say, we want people to see it, so I'm trying not to give as much away, but there's a couple scenes where you're just cringing when you see you. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're selling it so well. It's so good. One thing I did want to ask you is working with 20th Digital, because these bite-sized Halloween shorts are so amazing, and every year we're seeing them not only lift the bar, but we're seeing more female and people of color in the director's chair to direct these short films. What has it been like to work with them and to really get that spotlight?
Well, the team over at 20th are incredible partners in filmmaking. And I think what makes them so special is that the entire process, they're involved and supporting, but they maintain a supportive role. It doesn't turn into a business. Like the entire time, I really felt like they would have some creative input, and then they would always finish their sentences with, you know, but this is your thing. This is you, Jess. Like, you wrote this, you directed this. This is you, and we're just trying to make this the best you that we can help make it. And that's what really stood out to me more so than the inclusivity piece. I feel like the industry is really focused on inclusivity, and I've been doing this job for a long time, mostly in the commercial space. And so that's always been my mentality. Like, it's second nature for me to have like a melting pot crew and like make sure that I, you know, have favorites that just nobody, it's not like, you know, nobody's the same. Like, we're all bringing different perspectives. And when I cast things, it all shakes out naturally for me. So I think it's amazing what they're doing, but I think what makes it actually successful is that they're really fostering talent and not trying to control it. And that felt really special and kind of un-Hollywood to me.
Yeah, and you could tell in the production and the performances as well. I want to ask Kristin about that. What was it? How is it feeling for an actor to be able to perform and to have that freedom and that type of length?
Yeah, I really think that they were super supportive. They were on set. I think ours was one of the first ones to shoot. Correct me if I'm wrong. The first one.
Their first one.
And yeah, it really felt like cheerleaders. It felt like they were excited about Jess's vision, and it felt like everyone was really pumped to be there. So I like that. I like that feeling where it feels like a playground where you can push it a little further. You can make a slightly weird choice, and you get to have all that stuff to play with when you're in the edit.
Yeah, and that's what I love is like great editing, great. Like I keep saying, the visuals this year have been amazing. We have just today alone, we've had potions, which change you into a younger woman.
Oh, sure.
Face mask. Bird.
We're fine with aging, Michael. We're fine. Like, we're not scared. No. It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. That's what I keep telling myself now that I'm seeing that I'm getting 4 years from 50. So.
You know what though? Like, honestly, like seeing, you know, starting conversations through films about aging, I think it's a very interesting topic. I mean, this skincare is, you know, it's it's a parable about aging, but aging is not a straight line, not a pun about lines and wrinkles. But you know what I mean? You know, you asked me 2 years my opinion about Botox, and I would have been like, no way. And now, you know, I have a 4 in front of my age, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't know, maybe there's a world in which I would get Botox. And then how slippery is that slope? And how does privilege play into that slope? Yeah. And then, of course, like, I have the parable is not in judgment of women and what they decide to do or how they decide to change their bodies, but it's more just a conversation. Like, I have admiration for anyone on this weird slide of aging. And like, if you want to remain untouched, if you feel pressure, or you just like to take, you know, things in a different direction and start playing around with some of these, you know, skincare things. I just think it's very complicated, and you know, all bodies are good bodies, and I intend to age in strength, but I also like to acknowledge the programming, and making this film and having Kristin kind of bring that multidimensional woman to life was like a really fun way to kind of, I don't know, play with some of these dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things I like, oh, go ahead.
It can be fine. I'm just going to start crying. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, we don't personally have any feelings, of course, about this. Yeah. Well, what I like about the short too is that it pokes fun of some of those things, but also has empathy for the character, and recognizes that there's a fun shared womanhood, like sisterhood, in sharing products and talking about what you're doing and what you aren't doing. And so it has a lot of love for that woman, but it also peeks behind the mask of who's benefiting from all of this, and what are the nefarious players in this, you know, larger drama of the industry of beauty. And so I think that that's a really fun thing for the kind of longevity of the film. It feels like there's a lot behind what she's showing.
Yeah. And it kind of leaves it, the film kind of leaves it on a cliffhanger to me, it seems like.
Yeah, that's for people to want more. Yeah.
And is there going to be more? Are we going to see, because we've heard that there's some, like, there's a lot, it could be a jumping off point to bigger and brighter and bigger things.
Yes.
Is there something involved, thought process?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, what's so cool about this program with 20th is that they do plan on taking some of these shorts as a proof of concept for a larger feature. So when we pitch the different concepts and kind of move toward making something, they also love to hear about, like, what would this look like in a longer form piece. So I definitely could see Bella, who's the lead character played by Kristin. I could see this, you know, this is obviously an origin story of a monster, and I would love to see what that monster does with her newfound power and anger. And as she does start to understand the different players in this industry and in this programming of aging and beauty, like, who do you go after? And I think it takes a minute to understand who the actual players are. I think it's not Anna Wintour, you know what I mean? I think it's much deeper than that. And I love to think about what that means and what that might look like, and what Jason Voorhees with a vagina and a knife might do.
I would like to actually see it. I think it's a great concept. I like when I saw it because it brings it to real world, and I love horror films that have some type of basis in reality. And that's what this one does have, is a basis of reality and what people go through, especially with social media and Instagram the way it is. But thank you so much for being a part of this. We're looking forward to seeing your film once again because it's on Hulu. But before we go, I want to ask both of you, what can you tell the MUSE TV audience to get them to go into Hulu, sign up, and to watch your film?
Ooh, Kristin, do you want to take it first?
Oh, I mean, you basically have everything at your fingertips with Hulu. So there, you could never run out of amazing content. And one of the things that I think is so special about this bite-sized Halloween is how many different types of filmmakers there are, how there are a lot of filmmakers who don't have a traditionally commercial body of work. And so you're finding people that are experimenting in their field. You're finding short pieces, which for me as a mother, I like to watch a couple short things before bed. I mean, you need a cartoon after these scary ones as a palate cleanser, but that's what I love about the short form things. And there's definitely a lot to find in this series.
Exactly. Jess?
Yeah, I think that's great. I'm also a mother. I also appreciate short amount of content, short content that will also keep me awake for a minute so I don't actually fall asleep during it. I would say, I don't know, man, come for the period jokes. Stay for Kristin Slaysman wearing bloody Spanx.
I mean,
how's that?
That's great.
Yeah. I think that explains it all.
Thank you.
But it is definitely, everybody, you got to see this, because this is year they've lifted the bar on everything, and every single one of the shorts that we've seen have been excellent. Jess, Kristin, thank you so much for being a part of me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And don't forget to take a look down in the description. We have links to everything on how to go into Hulu and find the shorts, as well as different other means of ways to watch these great films, short films. So thank you so